Hi friends, this is Andrea Lake and it feels so good to be back recording a process video for my YouTube channel. In this opportunity, I'm working with the Mittens and Mistletoe collection from American Crafts. I also threw in the mix the chipboard numbers from the Evergreen and Holly collection from Vicky Button, also from American Crafts. So I am working, the one thing with this mini album, everything was made before, it was made before my move. Right now, at this very moment, the mini album is in a storage unit. And the paper where I wrote down all of the measurements for the covers, the chipboard covers, and the accordion pages inside got lost. So I'm gonna try to walk you through and be as accurate as possible. And then once I have the album in my hands, I will update the correct measurements in the description below. So what you see me doing right now is I am about to cover my chipboard covers with pattern paper. I am using some amazing bookbinding tools. These are from an Etsy shop, and I will leave the link below with a 15% discount coupon in there. I know still don't have them in my hands, but I know that We Are Memory Keepers, they're also coming up with bookbinding tools. So I will, as soon as I get those, I will let you know how they work, how they are, and all of that. But for now, this is what we have. So I have the front, the back cover, and the spine. I'm gonna wrap them all separately. As of now, if I remember correctly, my chipboard covers are 4.5 by 6.5. And the chipboard piece for my spine is 2 inches by 6.5. So you see me adding double-sided tape. I try to cover as much as possible, as much of the surface as possible with super sticky double-sided tape. You can use a bookbinding glue, you can use liquid glue, you can use regular double-sided tape. I just like to try to cover as much of the surface as possible to make sure that I don't get any bubbles in the process. And you see me right now going over the edges of, once I wrap my chipboard piece, you see me here going over that piece. This is just to flatten the surface and to get the exact shape of the chipboard, so I don't get any pointy edges. Now the spine will be wrapped a little bit different, so I'm gonna wrap the bottom and the top and bottom edges only. Then I'm gonna get rid of the corners at an angle. Doing the same thing, just getting the shape of that chipboard. And now I'm about to put together these two pieces. So I'm adding double-sided tape to the left edge of my, well, if you put it upside down, it will be the right edge, but one edge of the cover and in double-sided tape also on the flap of my spine. So that way, again, we get the entire surface covered with tape. If there is one product that I will be refilling and refilling and refilling forever in my life, is double-sided tape, and I do not feel bad about it. Yes, you could say that I waste a lot of double-sided tape, but my mini albums hold for years and years. We'll see. I feel that I don't want to jinx it because, again, all of my mini albums are right now in storage and I do not want to jinx this. But, you know, they hold with time. If you have them on a shelf or if you have them in a box or something, they should hold. So right now, before I cover the inside, before I get the pen and paper for the inside cover, I am adding my ribbon. I'm going with a super thick ribbon. This is a ribbon trim from Michaels though, and I believe this is from one of their fall stash. They just have the $5 trim stash, and I think that's from fall. Now I'm gonna go again. You'll see me, this is a 2-inch double-sided tape. And I'm covering as much of the surface as possible. That, as I said, will help me get rid of any bubbles. And I'm leaving an 1/8 of an inch from every single, from the top, bottom, and the side edges. So that way I can see some of the pattern paper from the cover, but then I get that fun pattern paper all the way through. Okay, I'm using the American Craft white texture cardstock to create the base of my accordion. So the idea for this mini album, and I think I didn't explain this, so I apologize. The idea for this mini album is, it is a countdown to Christmas. So I want to have space to go from day 1 to day 24, just before Christmas. So I'm creating 2 accordion pieces that will go on, one on each side of, once I open the album, I get 12 days before Christmas on one side, and then the other 12 days on the other side. And I'm creating the exact same thing, mirroring. I have 2 pieces. If you get the block, either the 6x8 paper pad or the 12x12 paper pad, you get 2 pieces of each paper, 2 pieces of each cut apart pages. So it is easy to mirror everything. One way, I do love the symmetry that I get, not just when I open the album, but when I open it, it will be decorated in the exact same way. So right now I'm just deciding the orientation, how I want my accordion to open and in what direction, based on what I want on the other side. And I'm using red twine to keep it closed, just as a gift. So I have the first accordion base already attached to the right side of my mini album, and then I'm going with the left side. And then the fact that I want it mirrored, that I want it to look the same on each side, it helps for different reasons. It helps because when I'm planning it, I only have to worry about designing one half of the album. The rest of it is just the exact same thing. So it helps to save time, and it helps to make everything look, the same. The same but different, right? Now the mini album, each one of the pages of the accordion made with the white cardstock should be 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. So we're folding at every 4 1/4 inch. And now each one of the pattern paper rectangles should be 4 by 6. As I said, I will update the actual measurements once I have the album in my hand, because it could be that the base of the album is a little bit taller or it's a little bit wider. I'm working on decorating the cover. I love adding as much texture and dimension as possible. So I'm playing with all those chipboard pieces, chipboard stickers, and I will end up adding some of the pom-poms. You won't see me adding them here, but on the flip through, they'll be there. And now the spine of my album will just be decorated with these puffy stickers. One thing that I did with every single one of the pieces, the pattern paper pieces to create the pages of the album, I added machine stitching details. I wanted to make sure that I could make this mini album before my sewing machine went into storage. It's been right now, I believe, 2 or 3 weeks since I have not seen it, touched it, worked with it, and it's hard. It's hard since it's one of the tools that I use the most. So here's a flip through of the finished album. It ended up being pretty chunky, so I wasn't sure in the beginning, but once I added all of the chipboard numbers, you know, there was going to be a lot of dimension, and I got that. So the idea for this is just to document or add a little thing, just a little thing every day, either a note or a small photo, or just, you know, as that postcard, there are a couple of pockets in the mini album, so I can also add a few things and keep them there, a few embellishments. But this way I feel I'm ready to keep track of what happens in the days leading up to Christmas 2022. Hopefully I will get to see my family, my parents will come visit after 6 years, and I cannot wait. Please let me know if you have any questions. As I said, all of the measurements will be updated as soon. I am not sure if by the time the video goes live we'll be ready, but I'll update everything. Please let me know if you have any questions. This was Andrea Lake for American Crafts, and it was so nice to be back with you. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.